Welcome everybody to the One Talk One Piece podcast, the podcast to listen to if you love One Piece or if you breathe oxygen. My name is Lee, and this is my co-host Kento, and today we're going to be reviewing One Piece chapter 970. So Kento, what was your initial thoughts on Oden versus Kaido?
First of all, thanks for having me on board, Lee. This chapter, Oden versus Kaido, I was very excited for it, for the fight as well. But to just be concise and for the sake of time, I'll just say that to start with, I think the chapter might as well have been renamed to Oden versus Fodder because we got to see Oden fight Fodder more than we got to see Oden fight Kaido. Yeah, but what about you? What are your overall thoughts on the chapter?
Well, we'll get into the chapter page by page, but the Oden versus Kaido I thought was terrible, man. That's supposed to be the most hype part of Wano Kuni, that's actually in Wano. And the most hype part of this flashback should be that.
Yeah,
and I thought it was so short. I thought it was no impact. There was no build-up. And it was basically just they each got one hit on each other. And from what we can see, Oden kind of got one shot. But obviously it's like it wasn't like a low diff fight kind of one shot, but we only see like one hit and then Oden's down. It's like I don't expect to see a full fight. But that wasn't even like a clash, dude.
I would agree, man. I have to agree.
Okay, it
when
was
you
a
say
clash,
that
but it was like whatever.
Yeah.
It was not supposed. It had no impact, dude. That panel of Oden cutting Kaido, that should be a whole page, and drawn better than that. Like that's fucking shit.
Yeah, the fight should have been at least, as you said, 3 chapters.
Not 3 chapters.
Instead
Like
we
I
only
mean, the
got
whole thing. The whole thing should be like maybe 2 to 3 chapters. Yeah, not just the fight, but that's like everybody. That's like all the scabbards, calamities, plus Oden Kaido. That's not like just Oden versus Kaido. Full 3 chapters of fights. No ways, bro. Oden's not gonna do that. And I thought that the way it ended was like just not impactful, dude. Like it's okay, but this is supposed to be like a fight between 2 top tiers, and I didn't feel like that. I mean, it was, but I don't feel like that. It's so fucking so little. But yeah, anyways, we'll get into the chapter now. That was just... So when we start this chapter, it's like Oden going into the war. He's got all his men, his scabbards, and we just see some pretty cool panels, honestly, of them walking there. And then they start talking. So you were telling me before that you thought Kaido was like kind of like talking a bit too much. Why do you think that? You think he's talking smack? I think he's talking smack.
All right, so first couple of pages I thought were beautifully drawn. The art on Wano Kuni, the palace, beautiful. Them walking there, but yeah, I just thought that I read this chapter I think about 3 times. Like I find Kaido to be I do find Kaido to be an interesting character. Like there's a lot that I want to know about him. I think that it's cool that in terms of his character, I like he's a lot smarter than he looks. Like he's not just this idiot drunkard. He can actually think, he can plan, he negotiates, he's a strategist. He's called Viceroy on top of being violent as hell. And we know the rise to power that he's had over the last few years. In this flashback, he's not above using trickery. We saw that in this chapter, and he likes taking his dragon form, so he's actually pretty interesting. But I thought that I just thought that he was talking way too much. I like that he was talking smack to Oden, but it just felt like to me a lot of the stuff that he was saying to Oden, like saying, "Oh, it was all a lie. We were at a disadvantage. The reason we waited this long, or if you and Hyogoro teamed up and this and that." It felt like he was talking to the readers, like kind of like it felt like exposition dump to justify why to fill the gap in for the last 5 years, why they didn't already take over Wano, and the shortage of men, etc., etc. Yeah, that's all I mean. But then I did like when he was talking about Whitebeard and Roger. Like, I like that. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's him more talking from like a character, the stuff you were saying before, like he's kind of like narrator, like he's the
exactly.
narrator. He's just telling us like what the reader, he's telling us straight up without, with any emotion there. There's no character there. He's just telling us what happened. He's basically, he like, it doesn't sound like him, He's just sounding like a fucking robot. And then
he sounds very generic
like a narrator,
that like panel.
Exactly.
But that's also how Oda's.
But when he talks about Roger and Whitebeard, that's more him talking. Like you can tell, this is Kaido. Like there's some character there. That's why I love about One Piece. Like when the characters talk, they talk in a certain way. Like you know what I mean? Like you have a presence of when someone's talking. Like when Shanks is talking, there's an air of like calmness, like confidence, But when Kaido's talking here at the start, like he's just fucking being a narrator. And then when he starts talking about Roger Whitebeard, he's more of a character. He's talking smack, okay, but that gives him character.
Yeah, exactly.
So and then we get to when Oden goes in, man. Like the fight actually starts, and then you just see like a page of just Oden charging in, cutting up these soldiers, these beast pirates, the fodder. In the anime, they could make that like a Madara scene. They could make that like a Madara scene, but they probably won't. What are your thoughts on the start of the battle?
I thought it was a cool panel. Like, obviously those fodder are no match for him. I think he one-shotted like a bunch of them just with like one hit. Like he one-shotted a whole crowd. I see like I think that's some of the armament haki, like very advanced stuff that we saw with Roger and Whitebeard. He's capable of using that on his sword. He's obviously very strong. And then we see Kinemon and the other scabbards rush to his aid, and Fodder kind of just trying to hold their ground, but Scabbards cutting through. Yeah, not much. I felt like the fight was not very substantial at all. Like we didn't get a lot to see. And the other thing is we only got like one panel of the Beast Pirates. We saw like I think Queen and King like in a silhouette like fighting. Like really like I felt like that was lacking. Would have liked to see them get more involved in this flashback or I feel like
I agree. I agree. The Scabbards and the Calamities didn't do enough. They didn't do shit. Like that's what I'm disappointed in. Like Oden didn't show enough. He could have spread this out in 3 chapters. Give us a few of the combat styles. Like you don't have to spoil it. Like just because you show us a fighting style doesn't mean that you diminish its shock value or like its entertainment value when they go all out in a full fight and who they're fighting. This can just be like a few clashes. Okay, you show King maybe doing like some sort of fire sword cut, like some sort of aerial attack. Yeah. But we got nothing. Dendros, see what can he do? Is he some like sort of sword electricity user? What can he do? Like I agree. Like I thought the fight was very very mediocre.
Very lackluster.
Yeah.
And the build up from the previous chapter, right? Like the end of the previous chapter where we see them, the Scabbards following Oden and all that, like this large panel spread, like that was build up and which this chapter failed to execute upon. We didn't see them do anything. We barely even got to see them hold their weapons. We only got to see them, their expression.
We had good build up. Like this, dude. Everybody was excited. I told you last week. I think the next chapter will be an 8 or 9 out of 10. Right? That's a very good rating for us.
Yeah.
Like, and it was fucking like we'll give our ratings at the end. We will give our ratings at the end, but
of course,
like this chapter, like that was so poor, man. The way that this whole build up has ended, I'm really upset, man. Like it's really disappointing. This is the most disappointing chapter we've ever reviewed on the show for sure, easily.
Yeah, easily the most
maybe even the most disappointing chapter of Wano, in my opinion. That's how bad it was. That's how bad it was. So, one interesting thing, okay, like a positive about this chapter was
let's focus on
what do you think Shinobu was doing, dude? Shinobu? It's very good signs that she's the traitor. They may be red herrings, but like what's that? Shinobu comes to see Oden, and at the end of the chapter, Oden's like, "This woman didn't come here to help me," and we see Shinobu there. Is that Shinobu? What do you make of that? I was want to ask you because I don't really get that. What's that about? Why was Shinobu there? And at the end of the chapter, right? You know that scene where Shinobu's walking, and we see her like an empty speech bubble, and then Odin's chained up. I presume that's after the war, like after the fight, and Shinobu's there like mocking him.
Yeah.
And he says like Dai Kunoichi.
So,
Shinobu's a Kunoichi. Like, what the fuck's going on? Can you explain that to me? That's my
Shinobu's
interpretation.
ninja.
Like the
So
traitorship term.
yeah, I mean, it seems like she's being implied to be the traitor here. She seems
Yeah.
like her mood is very different, like contrast to the rest of the retainers. Yeah, it's possible, but like personally, I wish that Oda, like whoever the traitor is, like he would go for something a bit more like unexpected. For me, like I saw
Yeah.
this is a
Exactly.
theory. Yeah. I read a theory like from a forum group. This is not my theory, but like someone even said that maybe the traitor was Ace, for the Beast Pirates,
Oh, like
which was
a new ace.
crazy. Which was
Oh.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Wow.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
you're right.
Shinobu,
That's a good theory, dude.
it seems like yeah.
The traitor is Ace, but it has to be someone that we know. Maybe their code name is just Ace, but what is their actual? Yeah, dude, that's a really good theory. I like that. That means that
Yeah,
Ace would have to be the real first mate.
and it would I mean complete the set of, King, Queen, Joker, Jack. It makes sense. But yeah, like anyways, I felt like the chapter, as far as the fight went, the other thing that, like if I were to go for a positive, I do like that. I like the fact that Kaido seems to be comparing himself to, like he sees himself in the same vein as the great pirates like Whitebeard and Roger. Like he doesn't see himself as, like anything less than their equal at least, which is good. Like I like that self-confidence in, one of the strongest characters in One
Where did
Piece.
he say that?
He's well, he kind of basically said that he called them soft. He said that he acknowledged their power, but he said that they were soft. So like I just like the fact that he, like, yeah, like you said, the lore, like it's rare to see these characters talk about each other like that. So we kind of get a bit more insight into how Kaido
I
views
get it. So,
those
so
legends.
like, when he says that, it means like he's tangled with Roger and Viper. That's how he knows that they're soft. Like he has
Yeah,
some sort of connection. Yeah, yeah. He's not that like Kaido's not that young, man. Like people think he's young. He's not. We don't know his age, but I'm pretty sure he's like at least 50. Like he's older than Shanks. He must be
oh for sure, yeah, dude, he's probably
much older.
late
Bro, yeah,
50s or
Shanks
early
is 40
60s.
years old. He must be like at least 20 years older or something.
Yeah.
Maybe 60. That's pretty
Uh,
old, but he's strong as fuck, dude. Like he's got a Zoan, so maybe he ages less. I don't know, but in the, what do you think in terms of like the cut, the Togen Totsuka? From the French translation, I can understand a bit. It's like some sort of attack to do with like a fish, like part of a fish. So again,
yeah.
going with that theme of Oden, all of his attacks are named after like certain Japanese foods. What do you think of that? What do you think of the attack? I think the attack was very not poorly drawn, but it was like boring. Like I like the
Right.
Zoro killer slash better. Drawn, that was drawn better.
Yeah, we talked about that. We discussed that in the back. How that had more impact than this. Yeah, I agree. The impact was definitely lacking. Compared to what was expected. I'm glad that we at least got to see it happen. Like, but I was actually the other thing about the fight. I wanted to see Oden fight Kaido's base form like more.
Yeah,
Like
of
I wanted
course.
to see that more.
That's what I wanted, man. What? That's the only part I wanted, dude.
Yeah,
Even if you skip the scabbards, even if you skip all the calamities, I don't care. Show me that. Show me
yeah,
a little bit. Show me like how Sanji fought Virgo, like 2 pages. Just show me
yeah,
that. Like no, I think it was 1 page. Show me that. That's all. Some hand to hand. And Kaido using like some new
yeah.
technique,
Exactly.
like
Hand to
a
hand.
Thunder Bago
And I
times
feel like
two.
that would also give them.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. And I feel
if
like
that
that would
had,
also give them
yeah.
more opportunity to have more
Dude,
exchanges, with two
what a
characters as
chance, man,
they
dude.
kind of
Yeah,
confront each
yeah.
other. Like they would be able to see eye to eye as opposed to, this being a samurai versus dragon, which is still cool,
Exactly,
but
like
yeah,
something like Sanji versus Doflamingo. Obviously not that
yeah,
one-sided, but it's like just show us a few, like a page, dude, but like with many panels, just showing us the clashes, some choreography. Like, come on,
yeah,
what the fuck is that, man? Like that page alone would make this chapter go up by like 3 or 4 ratings, dude. That's how sick it would be. Like hand
yeah.
to
The
hand,
cut,
dude. Oh.
the cut was just too fast, in my opinion. Like it just happened way too
And then
quickly.
there's no human form fight. It's just fucking okay, old hag. I'm gonna transform. distract you. One question here I really wanted to ask you. So it's very ambiguous, but was Kaido planning that, or was it just like, okay, I'm going to take advantage of that strike? And do you think he needed it? That's the interesting thing. Do you think he needed it? So did he plan it, and do you think he needs it? Like he needed that to win? Very ambiguous.
I'm sure he planned it because
Wow.
you know,
That's
yeah, I
fucked
mean
up. That means he's shit. He's a shit. He's a shit house.
but I don't think he needed it to beat Oden. I don't think
he needed it.
Like, does it dehype him? I don't think that dehypes him, but I think he
a little bit.
Yeah,
because it means he didn't beat Oden. Like maybe he could beat
it.
Oden, but he didn't do it fair and square. Like he needed someone
Right.
else.
Which was disappointing for us to see as well. Yeah. Really wish he didn't need to do that, because I don't think he needed to do that, resort to that at all. But I think he just wanted to, get rid of him quickly, maybe just like, but then that would also go against his character a little bit. I don't know, like he's supposedly the world's strongest creature, probably not at this moment, but like he was someone, like our understanding of his character in the present tense is someone who wants to start, a war of wars because he's bored, right? He's bored because he's so strong. So like, to me, like, wouldn't he want to seek out like difficult opponent? Like, wouldn't Oden be a sufficient challenge for him to really push him?
But that's 20 years later. That's 20 years later.
That's true. He's probably not the strongest. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know who would win this fight now that I see this. Like, I think Kaido would still win, but it's tough to say, dude. Honestly, Oden could just be a bit stronger. Like, either way, it's extreme diff, though. I think if they do fight right now, at this point. Maybe current Kaido's a bit stronger, but at this point, either way, extreme diff, I feel. That's just the vibe I get, but there's no facts to prove it.
Hold on, let me ask you. You mean, when you say extreme diff, you mean the Kaido in the present One Piece, like after the time skip, or during this
flashback?
Oh, right.
20 years ago.
Okay.
20 years ago.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Like, either if Oden wins extreme diff, if Kaido wins extreme diff. But that fight was not any, like, it was like, you hit me once, I hit you once, okay, and I needed help. It was very shitty. And we do see Ashura Doji maybe getting taken out by King. So I think maybe that's evidence for a Zoro-King matchup. Although you mentioned this Ace person, and you know what? There's something in me that says, like, Oda loves this, like, pattern shit. I just think you're right. I think... But then who does he fight?
Yeah.
But anyways, we're getting off topic here. Let's go with ratings for the chapter.
You go first, Lee. I want to hear your overall thoughts as well.
Overall thoughts and final. Okay. So my overall thoughts is that I thought it was a very disappointing chapter. Very, very poor. If it was a standalone chapter, still disappointing. But the fact that the whole of the flashback is supposed to lead up to this, and there's so many mysteries that we don't know, like why was Oden dancing like a fool? We never got that answered. Kaido hints at it, but why not just tell us at that point? Unless it's very important. But it seems, bro, he was just saving the fodder. He was saving the civilians, But that's very disappointing. Yeah. We didn't get an answer. And the fight, extremely wasted opportunity. This chapter could have been top, it could be top 20 chapters ever. That's how much I was looking forward to it. But it was disappointing, bro. It was garbage. Absolute garbage.
So what would be your rating?
So I give it a 2.5 out of 10. The only reason it gets a 2.5 is because we found out about the traitor, confirmed traitor. So that's extra, like, knowledge, bit of story, and
shit.
Yeah. There's some elements like Oden, his wife, expect him to come back. That was quite touching. Kaido, we saw Kaido throw like a little flame breath. Okay, cool. We got story progression, fine, but 2.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Fair enough.
About you? What's your overall thoughts, and what do you think rating?
Well, all right. First of all, a lot of problems. The substituting, the fights for the fodder, it just seems like a waste of time, like waste of panels. Why aren't we getting to see, the stuff that we want to see, calamities in action, even if a little more than just a panel, right? Seeing base form Kaido versus Oden, seeing more of Kaido's arsenal, maybe seeing a bit more exchange between two characters, something more meaningful. But instead, we get a clusterfuck of just beast pirate fodder versus like samurai fodder. Well, not fodder, but yeah, the scabbards. seeing, again, like there's a lot of stuff that could be taken out of here that could have been replaced with things that Oda could have used that it was more meaningful. The Shinobu stuff, I don't know. But Beast Pirates, again, like just not really making an impact. And then like you said, a lot of the build up, yeah, a lot of the build up from past chapters leading up to this. This could have been like, I mean, the flashback overall, I would say has been pretty damn good. But this could have been like the grand conclusion to an amazing flashback. Instead, it falls flat. The another criticism was the ending of the fight. Obviously, like the cut, and then the one Kaido just knocking him out with the thunder, and just resorting to that. I felt. So yeah, those are the negatives.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
don't even
some
think
of the
it was a divine thunder. It was just like a basic attack.
Yeah, it was just a basic attack. Like what the hell?
Yeah.
And then I felt like, but dude, I don't think it was the shittiest chapter I've read, but it was definitely very disappointing. I like the art in this chapter. I think Oda did a good job with the art. Yeah, some of the panels are very well drawn. Some of the expressions on Oden and Kaido, especially like that last panel where Kaido does knock him out. I like that panel. Just Oden falling right in front of Momonosuke. That was a moment that we kind of envisioned a few years ago when it was first revealed that Momonosuke's father was the shogun and Kaido took over the country. And
Yeah,
the
but that's
country
not actually Momo though. When it actually happens, that would be sad.
Yeah, that was not Momo. True that, yeah. But yeah, like just
it
the way
wasn't
his
actually him, dude.
that was drawn, and the characters
what's
just
your-
getting fucked. Like,
What's your rating?
and then yeah, overall rating 4 out of 10. Disappointing, subpar. Like I thought it was poor. Wasn't like a piece of shit, but it was yeah, dude. There's a lot of stuff I didn't care for.
Yeah,
I
thought it was garbage.
The only reason I didn't give it a 2 was probably
It's because of the
the art,
context,
but
man.
that's
Like
it.
everyone was expecting hype. I was expecting hype. You were expecting hype. It turned out to be very disappointing. That's why. If it was just like we weren't expecting anything.
No, I was just saying, like, wouldn't it be ironic if the chapter where he gets boiled alive would be more fucking exciting than the chapter where the fight takes place?
Exactly.
Like,
So maybe
the next
Oda's
chapter,
saving that.
if he gets executed. Imagine if that was a better chapter. But yeah, I mean, this is very disappointing.
Yeah,
the
but
main
I mean,
event is
maybe
pretty
it's
much finished.
disappointing because Oda is gonna make the boiling scene even better.
And therefore his death would not have the impact that it should have, or at least like it could still be impactful, but yeah, like, it could have been so much better. Yeah, we're fine. One last issue I have with the chapter, and this is more so like not necessarily, you were talking about context. You were talking about context earlier.
Yeah.
Right, in the issue of context, as it pertains to the structure, like, and this is more so a criticism I have with the formula of, how each arc is made and is written and the villains and so on and so forth. Like, this feels like the typical, like, how flashback end. For example, when in Dressrosa, when Doflamingo took over the Riku family, overthrew the king, when Crocodile overthrew, King Cobra took over Alabasta. Like, this chapter, rather than breaking that mold, because using the same formula, but you can still be, in the execution of that, you can still be rather unique or original. But like this chapter, I feel like it failed to break that mold. It could have been something so much more than just that. It could have had its own, personality. It could have been memorable. It could have been very memorable, but instead, it just comes across as kind of generic. And I think that's another reason why
So I give
the
it
rating,
a 4, bro. It's too high.
Yeah, we can't really give it a high rating.
Why do you give it a 4 then, bro? Okay, either way.
Because I thought the art was pretty good.
Yeah, fair enough. Good art. Yeah, it was good art. That's Oda's standard though, I think.
That's like, the main reason.
All right, so you gave it a 4. I gave it a 2.5. Okay, fair enough. So our first topic is, our topics this week will be the Shishibukai and what's going to happen to each of them. Vegapunk's creation of the SSG, what is it? And what will be like its abilities? And our last topic will be our thoughts on the new One Piece live action movie announcement. Okay, so let's get started with the Shishibukai. And what do you think is going to happen? So let's start with Mihawk. Mihawk, the strongest one. What do you think What do you think is gonna happen to him? Do you think we're just gonna come back to him and we see like all the marine ships all sliced in half? Like he just did like one massive wave of the slash. Like what do you think's gonna happen when we see Mihawk again? And what do you think is so? Do you think when we see Mihawk, he's gonna be just surrounded by battle, all like cut in half, or?
If there was ever a time to, have someone get off paneled, I feel like this would be one of the few times it would actually be justified. I wish like we just saw the aftermath of like just a marine fleet, like a wreckage, just nothing but remnants of wood and debris on the ocean. Like after he just cuts them all up. But like we talked about this a long time ago, that how Mihawk was simply too strong. Like the government can't just let him, uh, can't let, have him be loose out there. So
But
like
but
they
wouldn't
would
you
have.
rather? Yeah, yeah. Wouldn't you rather see him like cut all the battleships and maybe fight like an admiral or something? I don't think they'll send an admiral after him. I mean, they should, they have to, but they know that like that's a huge like the admiral might not come back. You know,
Yeah.
like the admiral might not come back, and they just lost an admiral. That's why they're not sending an admiral. They're just like testing the waters. You know, they're not stupid enough to actually try and capture Mihawk. They sent a bunch of fodder. Those fodder are like Mihawk won't kill them. He won't kill all of them, but he'll destroy all their battleships. That's a lot of money. But they're
Yeah.
like, you know what? We'd rather spend the money, make it look like we're doing something, rather than actually send an admiral.
Yeah. I mean,
But
in terms of
what if they came back? What about this? Yo, this would be hype. Head cannon. What if they went there and they said all those battleships, right, and like a couple vice admirals, just to give Mihawk a letter, just to say, hey, you know
whoa,
what? Don't fuck with us. We won't fuck with you. And then they just leave. Like, and they say, please don't like cut us out. Like, we're just here to give you this letter. We needed a whole fucking buster call just to give you this letter and say, don't hurt us. We won't hurt you. Just do your thing. And me was like, oh fuck, I was looking forward to that. I was like, oh shit, that would be hype.
that would be insane.
That would be insane hype, dude. Oh shit, yeah, that's what I wish would happen. If we don't see him cutting up the
Obviously,
battleships, because I
having
mean they're
two.
not that stupid. Why the fuck would they not just send an admiral? And it's because that they don't want. They know that they can't do shit to him.
What about in terms of the future of the Shichibukai though? Like, what do you see? Because like, what do you think is gonna happen? Because I feel like personally, from a plot perspective, I like the subplot of the dissolution of the seven warlords. And it being related to real world, like the people and have no trust in the warlords and all that. So like, it made sense to bring this storyline up. But I felt like maybe it was done a bit too early. Like that's how I felt.
Hmm.
What do you think of going
I agree.
forward? What would happen to the system? The remaining warlords. Like, because I felt like personally, yeah, it was a bit early to do that from a plot perspective.
I think it is too early to do it, and but I do think it makes the story a bit more interesting outside of what we're at. So outside of Wano, there's shit going on, right? But I think it's just a way of accelerating the story. Like this should have happened later, but it just means that One Piece is ending soon. That's all it means. I mean, Oda's kind of alluded to that.
Yeah,
Uh, so yeah, unfortunately,
which is a shame. Yeah,
yeah, I do think this would happen eventually. Like it was bound to happen, but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it
We
was
both
pretty
predicted
pretty
that
world
a long
shattering.
time ago. Like I
Yeah,
remember,
of
like
course,
years
yeah.
ago, we discussed even when we had these One Piece discussions. Even like years before Fujitora said that he wished to dissolve the Shichibukai, you and I both talked about that.
Yeah,
One
it's
day the
obvious.
government would do that. Yeah,
It's obvious
it
though.
seems. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what like do you think any of the warlords will be captured?
Well, we know that Bartholomew Kuma's, in Marij. Well, I don't know if he counts as a warlord anymore. He's enslaved by the Celestial Dragon. Uh, I think this would be a good time for us to see, like, if there's one thing I want to see, other than obviously number one being Mihawk, some hype for Mihawk. The second thing I want to see is, hopefully Oda shows us what Hancock can do, like from a strength standpoint, because we've never really seen her fight, other than kicking the asses of a few pacifistas. Like she's never really been scathed. And other than that, I don't think Hancock will be captured because I think she's too strong. Uh, oh yeah, seeing her fight against Kobe, like Kobe, that would be some good progression for Kobe. He'd probably get his ass whooped. But and then I mean the other remaining warlords who's it? I mean Buggy. I mean Buggy might get captured for gags, but he'll probably escape again. Like I don't see him staying in one place. And then Weevil's obviously on the run.
Do you think they can catch Weavile? Do you think they can catch Weavile, or is he like Mihawk, or you just can't catch him?
I don't think they're gonna catch him just because I think he has beef with the remaining Whitebeard pirates. So like that has to, if he gets captured, that subplot really wouldn't go anywhere. But like the other thing I wanted to ask you is like who do you think are the actual remaining warlords? Because it seems like there's a bit
Yeah.
there's a bit of an ambiguity to that. It hasn't really been fully explained the status of the warlords. Like because now we know like okay the system has been officially disbanded. So no one's really a warlord anymore, but like it feels like, I mean, who are they actually going after? Because Kuma's in the Holy Land, Buggy's, Buggy, Mihawk, Hancock. That's three of them confirmed. Weevil's another one, so that's like, I mean, that's 4 or 5 of them. Like, what do you think? Because we know Law is no longer like it's.
You mean what I think of a warlord as a system now, as a power?
Yeah.
I think they're hugely diminished, and I don't think we've just. I mean, because you have Mihawk there, right? Like Mihawk makes when you have Buggy as a warlord, it's like, okay, what's going on? But I get it. He's more of like the odd one, but maybe because we've seen Yonkos now and commanders, it's like some of the most of the commanders can beat all the warlords, except Mihawk.
I agree. I feel like the warlords as a whole.
It used to be much more held into more esteem, It was more. Yeah.
The 7
it's
of
more
them
prestigious.
are probably only equivalent to like one Yonko crew. Like that's it. They're not a third, fourth.
You think so? I don't even think so. I think they'd lose. Okay, but they're like a weak Yonko crew, you think?
Well, Mihawk's, if he's equivalent to like, let's say he's equivalent to Yonko, if we
Yeah.
put like, depends like which generation of warlords again, like, because
No, but like
pre-time skip
any
generation
first commander, right? Oh yeah, fair. Any first commander can beat any other Yonko except Mihawk.
What about
any of our Shishibukai, sorry.
What about Weevil? I mean, he's the X factor.
I mean, if Weevil is first commander at best.
Yeah, and then you got the Flamingo, Hancock. They're probably like second or third, like commander easy.
Okay, second and third, and then you got the whole rest of her crew. Like say Big Mom's crew, right? You have guys like Oven, Perospero, things like this.
Fair enough. Yeah, I get what you mean. I see what you're saying. And the rest of the Yonko, like Moria, Croc, their crews are way too weak. So destroyed.
And I think in each of those battles, the counterpart of the Yonko would win. Like a first commander would beat Weavile, a third commander would beat Dofi, a second commander would beat Hancock, or vice versa, whatever. Because Cracker for me was like as strong as Dofi, like from what we saw. Like he was the strongest. Like Luffy couldn't beat him at all.
Right.
I couldn't touch him. Literally couldn't touch him.
It's a shame too because
he got 2v1. He got 3v1.
I really liked the warlords in part 1. Like it felt like like before the time skip, every single one of them was so hard to take down. From Crocodile, and then we went to the second warlord who was taken down was damn, I can't believe I'm forgetting. But no, like when Kuma showed up on Thriller Bark, like each of them are extremely powerful individuals. But then after the time skip, it just seems like from a plot perspective, also Oda seems to be just kind of this. I don't want to say he's throwing them to the side, but it just feels like, like narratively speaking, literally speaking, that's exactly what he's doing. Like he has no real use for the system in the story anymore, right?
Yeah. But yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I mean,
actually, no. You kind of made me see. Yeah. Like the Yonko and Warlords, they could be quite close if you consider Mihawk at Yonko level. I think he's Yonko level, although I think he'd lose to all the 4 Yonko right now. I think Mihawk's going to get stronger by the end of series. That's what I think. I think he's actually going to grow. That's a scary thing. I think Mihawk is not at his prime yet. I don't think he's at his prime yet. But I think his prime is same as Shanks' prime, But I think right now, I mean, you could say that he's already the world's greatest swordsman. But I feel like the fact that the Marines have rebelled against him might just make him grow a bit more because
that's a good point. That's a very interesting point. Like it might force him if he's going on the run from the government. He might be like he won't be static. Marines going after them. If Oda shows us these encounters, I think that could have like being a world
Kobe versus yeah,
exactly, Kobe, like being a world event. I think it has a lot of potential. But
do you think he'll show it? I'm doubting him. I don't think he'll show it, man.
From what we've seen so far, like how he executes world events, like I don't think, but which is a shame. And like I wanted to see more warlords or like more people take the title. You know, like I actually thought for a while before the announcement, you know, when Urog took down what was his name? Snack. Yeah, because he had like one of the most impressive feats after time skips out of the supernova. Or like even like him, or even like Jewelry Bonnie, because you know we discussed her powers and theories around that, and how Marines or our government wants to keep her close. Like imagine if they were offered title of warlord, and that's like because we know there are a lot of supernovas who still haven't really been assigned. You know, kind of like we don't know what Oda's gonna do with some of them. So like I thought maybe they could have been, or like we could have been introduced to some characters. There's the warlord who cut off Zephyr's arm in the film Z, if that's canon. Which that is confirmed canon, like his character, not the events of the movie, but like, so yeah, I felt like it was kind of a shame that the system has been just, as you said, not.
Feels like something's missing now, like a faction's being destroyed. You know,
it's been destroyed. Yeah, it's gone.
The balance has been shifted again.
Yeah. So yeah, in a way, I'm disappointed, but at the same time, it does create some, you know, openings for to look at it positively. It does open the door for a bit more. You know, potential different storylines. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So our next segment, our next topic is going to be revolving around Dr. Vegapunk's SSG, the Special Science Group, SSG for short, describing the project led by Vegapunk of the Marine Science Unit, and this is to replace the Seven Warlord system. So, yeah, Lee, what do you think the SSG is, and how do you think it will tie into the story, and will we see Vegapunk? Just overall thoughts on the Special Science Group of the Marines.
Yeah, so I think the SSG are a bunch of super soldiers. I don't know if you've seen X-Men, but you know what the Sentinels are? The Sentinels?
Yes.
They're basically this. Yeah, it's really cool. Like, so the X-Men, there's mutants, right? They're just everyone's like, you know, scared of mutants. So the government created these these fucking Sentinels, which basically they've taken one of these. I think Mystique. They stole her genetic, so her powers to transform basically into anything. She can. She's a shapeshifter, and so they put that gene and to make the robots, to make the Sentinels, right? So then that gene allows the Sentinels to adapt to any mutant's power. It's crazy. So the Sentinels are specifically built to fight mutants. For example, like Mystique, she can shapeshift, right? So if like a mutant has fire powers and starts shooting the Sentinel starts adapting to become like cold or something, you know? It always adapts to the power it's fighting. And that's how they capture all the mutants, and, you know, mutant kind is exterminated in like one of the universes. But similar to the SSG, they'll get like a really strong devil fruit, or like a devil fruit that's made to counter devil fruits.
Yes.
Maybe like the water fruit. And Vegapunk will take certain parts of it. However, he transfers devil fruit powers into machines. And so the machines that he makes are basically these super soldiers, kind of like Gundam, but like smaller Gundams, you know, like the size of Katakuri, like that size. And they're basically way stronger pacifistas, but they're more agile. Yeah. They have better hand-to-hand. But they also have this, whatever that devil fruit they use, ingrained, that devil fruit's powers ingrained into them. Whether that might be like a sea stone fruit maybe, or like a metal fruit, some sort of metal fruit, I don't know. Or like the light fruit. Whatever it is, Vegapunk will harness the devil fruit's power like he has done before for the pacifista, for the weapons, right? Like Funkfried. And he'll put that into each SSG. And these SSGs will be fucking powerful, and they will counter devil fruit users with some special abilities. That's what I think an SSG is. In terms of what it stands for, like, it's probably some Japanese thing, man. But if I had to guess, like Super Saiyan, like Super Soldier, like Gundam or something, I don't know.
Well, it's been confirmed, Special Science Group, but yeah.
Oh shit! Creation of a special science group. What
But
the
that's
fuck?
only the name of his team, like his unit.
Oh.
But I agree with you. I think it has to be I don't. I hope it's
Oh,
not
so
like
they. Yeah, there's no.
yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I hope it's not just some arbitrary weapon like some nuclear
Oh
shit.
yeah.
Like, no, I want. Yeah, I agree with you. Like some super soldiers or actual, fighters, like combatants that are advanced tech. That would be sick.
Yeah, like
Uh,
bio warriors.
and it makes sense, like about what you said, how they would use it to counter devil fruit users. I like the comparison to X-Men, like how I mean the world government is a oppressive government, and when you look at the devil fruit users in One Piece, they're kind of like the meta humans, in that world. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
a lot of sense.
Exactly.
Uh,
Yeah. So
yeah,
yeah. So therefore, you just won't stand a chance. But what could that fruit be? I don't know. But that's what we think the SSG is.
yeah, and I mean, the
Do you think
first
they'll be
time
strong?
I hope they'll be strong. I mean,
More fodder.
Fujitora said that they won't even need the warlords, and also like when we learned about Akainu and Aokichi's fallout, their fight from Jinbei. Jinbei said that the government replaced because losing an admiral is like losing a third of their military power. So obviously they have to replace them with certain assets. And I think according to Jinbei, I don't remember what he said exactly, but he did say that the government had used new powers in order to compensate for that loss. In
That's
addition
yeah.
to
Maybe that's the SSG.
admirals. Yeah, and it would have to be, and I can definitely see it if they are indeed super soldiers. Then hell yeah, I mean the Marines would be even stronger than they were before the time skip because, I mean Garp retired officially. Sengoku is no longer really active in the fighting capacity, and then Aokiji resigned. You have these new generation admirals, so obviously they have to compensate with that. And I think the SSG would. The other thing is Akainu leading this more aggressive, these aggressive regime of Marines. I think, yeah, it would make so much sense for it to be, like super soldiers, a program like that. But like Vegapunk, like what do you think these soldiers actually would be like? Do you think a lot of them might be like cyborgs or androids? Because I mean, Vegapunk, we know he created the Pacifista program, and we know that he used the laser from Kizaru's fruit, devil fruit, to weaponize the laser in the Pacifista, or like he used that. So what do you think of that? Like Vegapunk's role and all that,
In the lasers.
or like just
Yeah.
in general, like what would he make these soldiers or weapons look like, or just their capabilities?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
I think there's a devil fruit similar to honestly I'm just looking at the Sentinels like it helps them
yeah,
adapt to whatever changes they're doing. Like an evolution fruit. That your body just changes based on what you're facing. It basically like there's a mutant who has the ability just like survival. So if someone tries to drown him, he'll grow gills. If someone tries to burn him, he'll become ice. Like something like that, like a counter like a evolution fruit. You know how certain animals in the wild, they've evolved over years?
yeah, yeah.
Right? Like birds, maybe they grew wings so they could escape predators. Things like that. That's evolution. So our last segment of the show is gonna be about the new One Piece live action movie. This was announced recently, and Oda has confirmed that he will be collaborating on this. What are your initial thoughts, Kento, on this? Do you think it's a good or bad
Well,
idea?
hmm. I want to stay positive, but I'm usually apprehensive when it comes to live action adaptations of either video
Hmm.
game movies or anime. Uh, but I think one good thing it has going for it is that it's going to be produced by Netflix. So if Oda's working with Netflix, I mean Netflix puts out some good stuff. A lot of original shows that are pretty well written, well produced, and they usually do have. It seems like when they put stuff out there, they're not trying to just milk franchise or be like cash cowing just for the sake of it, like a lot of these franchises and movies are. So I think there's hope in them respecting the source material, but I don't know. Like I just don't know what to expect. Like I haven't seen really a good anime live action movie. I'm not saying that it has to be exactly like the manga, because
Yeah.
obviously One Piece is like 1,000 chapters long, and it's gonna be impossible. Like, and I agree with you when you told me that it should have its own identity. Something that separates it as being more unique and memorable. So And if they can do that without butchering the source material too much, then I don't really mind. I think there have been live action adaptations of Full Metal Alchemist and Bleach. Like I haven't seen those, but yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I'm really scared of what's gonna happen here because some of the anime movies like Dragon Ball Evolution, like they're just like Avatar, they're just terrible, man. They're absolutely terrible. I mean, the best one you could get is probably Death Note, and that's like okay. I heard Bleach's one was okay, but you're not gonna get more than an okay, right? Usually. But I think One Piece is a special series, and I'm really excited. Maybe because I'm just like such a fanboy, but I'm really excited. I think even if it's bad, I'll laugh. Like it's fine. But I really hope they can make it good. And what I think they should do is make the tone of the series maybe a bit darker and make it something new. Don't try to recreate the manga exactly. Try to make it something new. Like it can't be the same thing, you know? You can't replicate the anime. Each episode will only be like an hour and you have to cover a lot more in an hour. But because it's live action, you don't need to take as long as an anime, you know? And plus, imagine they're not going to do like as many episodes of live action as the actual anime. Like, that's crazy. So the pacing has to be different. But yeah, I want an overall darker theme and a darker tone to the story.
Right. And speaking of live action animes movies, when you're talking about Death Note, you're talking about the Japanese one, right?
The Japanese one?
Yeah, like the live action Death Note. Because I just realized that Netflix made a pretty shitty ass live action Death Note.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
And it was so bad. Like L was African American, and I think Light was just shit. It was pretty bad, man. So hopefully it won't be like that. Do you think they should have made like a live action series instead? To give themselves more time, or do you think live action movie? And what do you think like the story's gonna be?
I hope it's good. If it's good, it could be a masterpiece. It could be really, really good for the series. That's what I'm hoping for. Like it could be, man. I'm not negative about it. I feel even it's probably gonna be average or bad, but there's like a 20% chance, 30% chance it could be really good.
Yeah, especially like it depends on what.
It's a great series.
What are they gonna adapt from? Because I think
exactly. I think the storyline matters.
Yeah,
a lot.
The Romance Dawn like arc, I guess. Where do you think they should do it up to?
So they're doing East Blue confirmed. They're gonna do it by how successful it becomes. So honestly, if it's really shit, I don't think they're gonna do a second one. But it could go it could be the whole series if it's good. It could be maybe just until East Blue if it's bad. It depends how well it does, man. Where it should go up to, I mean, if it's good, go like do the whole fucking thing, but do it in their adaptation. Maybe skip. They probably will skip arcs that maybe are hard to or like expensive to animate or something. I mean, they shouldn't, but I understand if they do that.
Or they'll rush through it, like just like show you a little glimpse.
No, bro, it won't be like maybe it won't be like that manga, man. Like it has to be way shorter. Like they're saying that East Blue will be done in 10 episodes. That's what they're saying.
Oh, so it's a series, not a movie.
No, bro, it's a fucking series, man. Netflix series.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then, dude,
like Game of Thrones, like sick.
Yeah, I mean, The Witcher
it's
also
a movie?
like recently 10
Yeah, The
episodes.
Witcher, yeah.
And it was very good. It was very good. So
I heard that, yeah. So imagine that. It's not a movie, bro. That's the difference here. It's a series. Yeah, a lot of potential, right? It's not a movie, it's a series, bro. If it's a movie, of course it's gonna be shit. You can't put One Piece into a movie. It's ridiculous. 10 episodes though, with a constant like series, like cast, that'll be sick. Who are some actors you think could be? There's one actor I think that can be Ben Beckman so perfectly. It's what's his fucking name? The guy in Interstellar, Matthew McConaughey.
Oh really? Yeah.
He's so badly Ben Beckman too. Like his fucking like face, dude.
Yeah. He's pretty tall as well. Yeah.
He's definitely, dude. He's the perfect Ben Beckman, dude. He's the perfect Ben Beckman. And then I want Emma Watson to be Nami.
Oh wow, yeah.
That's it. In terms of dude. So this is the interesting thing. You know how Oda revealed the nationalities of each of the Straw Hats?
Yeah.
So Luffy's Brazilian, Zoro's Japanese, Sanji's French, Nami's Swedish, Robin is Russian, Frankie's American. Brook is African. No, sorry, Usopp is African, dude.
Yeah.
And
so
then you
Usopp's
got
So is Aokiji. Aokiji's probably Jamaican, man.
yeah, he's black as well. Like
Got the
so in a movie, will they cast actors like that? I think it'd be pretty cool. Like don't just have everybody who's Japanese, you know, like
Oh yeah,
like
screw
give
that.
them their nationality.
No,
Yeah,
the
they can't
thing
all be
that-
Japanese. No one's gonna watch it then. They have
the
to be
thing that
diverse.
makes One Piece, like the One Piece world's so special and vibrant, is like you have like these vibes, like it's a very Western kind of atmosphere in the fantasy setting. Like so, yeah, like they should not be all Japanese. Screw that. That would be very boring.
Yeah, it'd be so lame. That'd be so
That would be
so
so
lame,
bad.
dude.
That would be cringe. But I don't think they're gonna do that. If it's like 10 episodes, East Blue, I think it could be solid, man. Like everything could be solid. But yeah,
I think
yeah.
I think how they do a combat scenes as well with CGI matters as well.
Yeah.
Like how do they do fights? Like will it be like Game of Thrones where like you can actually see the swings like they're really slow, or will it be like the Marvel movies? Or will it be something completely different? It's either one of those two, right? Like like slow medieval combat, like hand to hand, or will it be like cinematic like Batman or like Marvel?
Yeah, true that. I agree.
I can't imagine Luffy just like Bane versus Batman, like Luffy versus like Arlong.
It's just hand to hand. There's like no powers.
No, there is powers, but like in that style.
That would be
It'd be
pretty
chill.
bad. If it was like
Or like
Marvel,
Sanji hand to hand versus Jin is like that.
oh my.
Anyways, like how do you like all the straw have super strength, right? Like the big three, right? Like
Right.
Sanji kicked a fucking alligator. Zoro lifted the fucking house. Like, do they? Is it like superpowers? You know what I mean? Like
That's
in
true. Yeah. The
you know what I mean? Like, how do they
natural
show
strength.
that? Like,
Yeah, how do they show
yeah,
that?
strength. Like when Zoro like clashes with another swordsman who's like strong, does the ground shatter beneath him? Like does the ground start to crack or like
CGI. They're gonna use CGI.
like when Mihawk cuts the battalion, do they show that? Like, is he actually? That'll be sick, dude. Imagine
Like
they do a good job on that. That could be better than the anime, dude.
The other
Potentially.
thing I agree. The other thing that's important is I feel like set design and production is very important because One Piece.
Yeah.
The world building is huge and like each location is so unique. Every island. Like I wish they would capture the spirit
Not for
of
East
that.
Blue though. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. If they're because it'll be more expensive to do that, like to make Skypiea or Water 7 especially.
For example,
That's gonna
like
take a lot of money.
The Barati, like I wish they would like kind of make that look cool. You know.
Yeah. Barati's probably gonna be the most expensive one, but like they can do it. They should do it. But their budget, it has to be sizable to do that. Which they do. I mean, One Piece is so popular. But yeah, I'm optimistic for it, man. I hope it's gonna be a good watch.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it. No question.
I'm definitely gonna watch it. Whether it's good or bad, I'll watch it. We can review it, dude. On the times when there's break, we can review the episode.
Each episode, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Looking
Yeah,
forward
that's
to
dope.
it.
I'm looking forward to it too. So yeah, those are our segments done. I hope you've enjoyed the podcast. We won't be doing trivia this week until we start getting a few more viewers. We're just not going to do a trivia because it is a lot of work to edit. We want to make it look really nice, but if we have one subscriber, so if for the few people who are watching, we know who you are, the one subscriber, Manny. We appreciate your support, but we won't be we won't be doing trivia.
Thank you, Manny. You've been a steady patron. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Manny. We appreciate you, but yeah, we won't be doing any trivia just for Manny over here. But anyways, thank you for watching. Please like the video, comment, and subscribe.